Transcribing, Pitagui. Ayya. Takiukitam Scott now, wow. Kamachita no egwa. Ayya. With all the Christmas words, holiday words floating around recently, I can't seem to recall how to say that. Happy New Year. All right, get fired up here. Simon, we're going to work on some Sweetgrass stories tonight. If you missed last week, we had on Sunday we did a live stream. Solomon Rat told stories. You can catch that on live replay on my YouTube channel, and previous transcribing nights you can find there under the live tab as well. We'll give this a couple minutes to get fired up, and then we'll get going here. Let everything warm up. Tapwe. Miasin pitagwe gamatsita noegwa. Anuts ay we atoskat we atoska atos ay atoskate no. Umatsim one the Flying Sweat Lodge ga siga te kuma. Gagisit atsimut ay West Fine Day. Egwa ay Kagatsita igisita ya kumaya 11 minutes mina apito asai igisita ya egway nanto nyano sap sapaigansa. I don't know how you say it is thus long. It's to be so long. I don't know how to say that. The length of something. Or maybe how you measure something in length. Let's see if we can find that. Measured in length. If you know how to say that, witamate, witamawin. Kiskanohamawin. I wonder if it's this one. It is such width or length. Ispite. I wonder if you could say ispite quan. Ispite gun, maybe that's it there. I wonder if that works for recording as well. Okay. In any event, let's go back about, let's see, we're 11 minutes and 20 seconds in. Let's go back to about 10 minutes and just get caught up on where we're at here.
Igo ke mami igo pisk so chicken ge aseniakt. Egisi matotsiano pihto magagi no te matotse chigo skini go akto. E chigo ma bengo te o chena se hegi no te to te chigna. Don so nya e se chaka petek to ma jackpot manan he gaita chik. Ego me no tento matotse chigo me. Ego he paksei mo chik papeu when gigap mo ngi chigo mo ta matutsa ne to papeu when gigap papa pa we pin na magusik put kwen go to ga fata hok aga ne gi si matutsia to ento bi te go ni na ton tan so ta gi matwe maton chi papa no sotto. Ako chika ne tiso ne na ni po te ai ta kam sito pe te go ka pe apasap.
Apasapa mit looked back at me. That was, I think that's what Apasapa mit. think that, and then we heard that, I think, in another story. Pasapa meo. Yeah, to look back. It's that one looked back at me.
Eu kamina kunta, eu tiden så tomatan så meiten genota. Epitagaan mayugam koktoon. Mapamunekteegi ako mukyonen daut nintawa pamsundo. Niktimagin ako sunwichawagan.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. Anyway, they tried to warm up the frozen sweat lodge with a tiger torch, I guess. Anyway, so the torch must have gone out, so he went and lit it for himself. The sweat lodge blew up and took off his eyebrows and his hair. So let's keep going on this a little bit.
Mag-iway utan ni ganes sa kasaw. Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino. Mag-iway utan ni ganes sa kasaw. Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino.
Mag-iway ote.
Mag-iway utan ni ganes sa kasaw.
Sweetgrass. I think he's talking about. Yeah, let's see here.
Mag-iway utan ni ganes sa kasaw.
Sweetgrass, he.
Sa kasaw. Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni
Minuta na mag-igwe.
Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino. Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino.
Oh, he ego, I think he says. Nimisa hapuna. Dancer Christine. Yeah. The eyebrows. Misa hapuna, is that eyebrows? I'm guessing that's what it is just based on his gesture here.
Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino.
Or eyelashes, maybe?
Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino.
Miso hapuna. Let me just look it up because I don't know that word. Eyebrow. That would be miesapun. Nimisapunan. What is eyelashes? Oh, it's going to be the same word. Nimisapunan. Yeah.
Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino.
Miesapunan. Mina, I think he said.
Minutan na mag-iway o hego ni misa hapo na mino.
Yeah. That's probably good for that chunk. We'll make one more right here. The next little bit. Probably don't want it that long though.
Ichigo me mistira sa mano magapakta.
Echiga uma, he said.
Ichigo me mistira sa mano magapakta.
Emesti Gasaman.
Ichigo me mistira sa mano magapakta.
Mesti Gasaman. I don't know that word. But the spell checker says it's okay. See if we can go find it. What does it mean? I burned something entirely. Burned it up or burned it entirely, burned it up. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Christine. So just through the context, I understand what he's saying, but I'm looking for the specific words as a opportunity to learn the words because I don't know that word. Emesti kasaman. Emesti kasaman. And then we can have interesting conversation around, where might you use that to, right? Can you use it in this context? Can you use it to mean this or that? Let's just grab that second little bit there and see if we can get the rest of that. Pakisamanum, I think you said.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Baksaman is Baksaman, like baksin is to fall over, right? Baksanin. Is it similar to that? Oh, it explodes. He exploded it, blew something up. So I blew up my sweat lodge, he's saying. It's such a good story. By the way, you're just tuning in, you can find this story if you're coming from TikTok and you click on the link in my bio, that'll bring you to my link tree. And at the very top, these stories are available on YouTube. Just going to shut that off so I can turn on I like to draw on the screen sometimes. So, yeah. And usually I've got this set up already. So if you go to my link tree, you can find this YouTube channel, Sweetgrass Stories, a 21st Century Perspective, and that will take you to the story that we're working on tonight. The Flying Sweat Lodge right here. So we've got more stories we'll be uploading over the next little bit. And we've got our next visit coming up in January with Wes to collect the next set of stories, the winter stories. All right, let's keep going.
The notes for an exoation, though, you know, they reach a work and tomato, it's a guma. The notes for an exoation, though, you know, they reach a work and tomato, it's a guma.
Nigisuai sun, like I kind of made myself mad, I guess you'd say. Gisuai sun, I think he said. Gisuaheo. Is that from that one? Gisuaheo. Oh, it's a long A. Gisuai sun. That might not pick up because it wouldn't. Yeah, it's the reflexive. That's fine.
The notes for an exoation, though, you know, they reach a work and tomato, it's a guma.
Just that last little bit. I had it and then I lost it. Let's try it again.
You know, they reach a work and tomato, it's a guma.
You know, they reach a work.
You know, they reach a work and tomato, it's a guma.
Okay.
You know, they reach a work and tomato, it's a guma.
Oh, we wanted to go to bingo with them, is what he's saying. Mehtawitsik. Uma. Yeah, because he was talking about how they, yeah, Marie says he got himself mad. He ticked himself off. Because he was talking about before how they wanted to hit the sweat before they went to bingo, I guess for good luck or something. I don't know. But now he's mad because he wanted to go to bingo with them, but he's got no eyebrows. That's such a good story. By the way, one of the things I'll do as soon as I'm done working on a story is I'll go back and just listen to it again. As a learner, it's because we spent so much time kind of zeroing in on some of these words. But then to just go back and listen to it again, sort of in context, and hear the story again. It's a good exercise. Actually, let me just listen to that one more time, make sure I have everything there. Yeah. Osaman te mitseet. Nuitse wagan. They go there. Inita tote. I think he said, but I thought this should be Nuitse waganak, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm hearing or not. Eginita itoteitsik. So nita usually means to be good at something, but in this context it has another meaning. Nita, consistently. Okay. So because my friends or relatives, maybe you'd say, would go there consistently. Eginita toteitsik. Short eye on that. Nita, yeah, there it is. And there's more to this. Let's grab the next chunk. Tsimoyak. Giogato, we visit each other. Egote, I think he said. Yeah. Egote tuo. Okay, so let's break this down. Just the first little chunk here. But the way I look right now, ka ise nagosian. Oma, I think he said. Moyaisini nak. I see. What's that word? I see ni nak. What is that? I see ni nak, like where the people are, where there are people. In this context, it seems like where people go. Sorry, I missed some comments over here. Cody says, Tanse metawilga mek bingo hall. Something about cousins, whatever they were doing, they play and they work. Kapat says, lol, where people go. Yeah, I see Ninak. Just see if I can find it in here. Ninak. Yeah. So I missed that IYI. I see Ninak. I see ni nak long A. Long A. Where people go amongst humans. Brenda says a crowd. Makes sense. In this context, it sounds like, well, let's finish the chunk because there's more to this.
Kagi,
I think you said papam. Panogosian. 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 I don't know this word. Cody says, I grew up around Cree. I think I can understand it, but this listening exercise is humbling me, he says. Makes two of us. I don't know this word. Oh, Gosian sounds, it's not. Kagipano, Gosian. Let me slow it down. Something about Gosian sounds like a son of something, but I don't. He says. I don't know that word though. Let me listen to the whole thing. We'll just flag this one so I can get clarification on that. And Moya should have come through too, but okay. Let's listen to the whole thing together and see what.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know that word. Papan Gosian. That's okay. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Kind of like just keep swimming, right? Wheat sounds like. Oh, I kagipa nugosian. Oh, nugosian, like to how would you say that? Go into a crowd like nugose. That makes sense. Yeah. To appear to appear in public is what he's. Yeah, be seen in public. Thank you. So that ba is going to be short.
So that's
going to be papam nugusian. Long O. I can't go around in public like this, basically, is what he's saying. Thank you, Brenda. Magagas nagosiano mamoy I sini na gagi papam nagosian nitetin. He thought to himself, I can't go around in public like this. No eyebrows. It's so good. Such a good story. Bitugui. Tick.
Copy where you easy copy beat to get you go. Copy where you easy copy beat to get you go. Go ahead, Gishimitsa, come.
Oge egwa egismitsoyak. I don't quite know that first. It sounds like, I wonder if that A is a false start and he meant Kape waiui tick.
Copy where you easy copy beat to get you go ahead, Gishimitsa, come. Copy where you easy copy beat to get you go ahead, Gishimitsa, come.
Can't quite. One more time. Slow it down a tiny bit.
Copy where you easy copy beat to get you go ahead, Gishimitsa, come. Copy where you easy copy beat to get.
Just that waiui something. I'll just flag down. They came out and came. As he said, Gape waiui tick. Gape waiui tick, gape pitagwe tick. Skrono says, Ba Ngosia, and people keep seeing him walking around. I think I'm going to put this because it makes sense in context, but I'm still going to flag it. Oops, not that. Waiuitik. And I'll just double check in case there's a word there I don't get. Waiuitik. Yeah. Yeah, referring to, yeah, somebody else is coming in.
Kunte ita to tahe giskwe chigomi.
Itutagik.
Kunte ita to tahe giskwe chigomi. Kunte ita to tahe
Ai tutagik.
Kunte ita to tahe giskwe chigomi.
Gisque chikuma. What does that mean? Gisquil.
Kunte ita to tahe giskwe chigomi.
There's more to this. I need to listen to the next chunk because I think we're missing something.
Sque chigomi. Igo gewi muchigita chigumo yagota hoe chum.
Mutsugita tsik, I think he said.
Sque chigomi. Igo gewi muchigita chigumo yagota hoe chum.
Mutsugita tsikuma, I think he said.
Sque chigomi. Igo gewi muchigita chigumo yagota hoe chum.
Awiya. What's that last word there?
Sque chigomi. Igo gewi muchigita chigumo yagota hoe chum.
Kohtahui tsikuma. Kohtahuit. I don't know that word.
Sque chigomi. Igo gewi muchigita chigumo yagota hoe chum.
Everyone talking at once, Brenda says. Scrone says they were excited and having a great time. Whoever wins. Oh, who wins? Yeah, just that last word. What's that last word, though?
Squechigomi, Ego gave me Muchigita, Chigoma, Yagota Chum.
Oh, winds, that word. I get it. Yeah. Just Ohtahoi tik. Ohtahoi tikoma. Right. So we ran into that before. Yuck. Gisque tik. But you're saying that in this context means like they were excited. It sounds like they were being silly or they were out of their mind temporarily. It seems to me like they were just worked up, I guess, over how much fun they were going to have and who was going to win at the bingo, I guess. Let me just listen to the whole thing and make sure I have it right. Just go.
Kunte eita tota ke gisque chigomi. Ego. Kunte eita tota.
Ita tota kik. So I have this word wrong. Ita tota kik. Ita tota kik. Itato. Okay. Itato tam. Itato takik. That's an interesting word. To tell about something. So it's like ato tam, but with it on the front. Itato tam. That's a neat word. All right, one more time.
Kunte eita tota ke gisque chigomi. Ego gave me Muchigita, Chigoma, Yagota Chum.
Yeah. Okay. I think we got it. Yeah. 12 and a half minutes. We've only got a couple minutes left in this story.
Hemi pe vice we akti kita to guys sticked. Hemi pe vice we akti kita to guys sticked.
What's that second word?
Hemi pe vice we akti kita to guys sticked.
Oh, are you going to come with us? Are you going to come with us?
Hemi pe vice we akti kita to guys sticked.
Kita we.
Hemi pe vice we akti kita to guys sticked.
Istik. They asked me. Are you going to come with us? They asked me. Suddenly, I guess you'd say.
Mooi maar scoots.
Mooi maar scoots. It's so good. Sort of like, I don't think so. My scoots. Yeah, unlikely. It just gets better and better. Let's grab some more for this one here. Mooi maar scoots.
Mooi sini na kung sigagi pais nak siya no magapasagi weanto. Mooi sini na kung sigagi pais nak. Mooi sini na kung sigagi pais nak siya no magapas.
Is that one big long word in there, or is there a short word in there? This first chunk. Can't quite. It's got nagose in there, but I can't make the whole thing out.
Mooi sini na kung sigagi.
No, it's a couple of words. So he says, mooi maar scoots. See if we can puzzle out that middle part there.
Mooi sini na kung sigagi. Mooi sini na kung sigagi.
Isi nago se kagi, something like that. That's what I think I'm hearing. One more time. Yeah, what's the word? It sounds like Isini Nagos something. Let's grab the next chunk there. Isinagosian, is that what you're hearing, Brenda? Let me just grab the next little chunk here. Isinagosian. I wonder if it's a false start. Oh my god. Sagewean. Giga. He says that pa, but it's like papam. Sagewean, I think he said. Sagewean. What's that mean? Sagewe. It's like to show up, I guess. Let me listen to the whole thing in there and see. That part in the middle might just be like a false start.
It
sounds like Missy. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to flag that one. Check my comments here. Can't go into public, Kapot says. Bonnie asks how he looked like he was angry. I think Pai is just like, if I'm hearing that right, Gagi Pai Sinagosian, like in this context, Pai is usually like, usually you're in the context of something deadly, but it's like extremely or terribly. Really terrible looking. To go around. Moima Scoots. Yeah, I'm gonna ask for it is the same word as before, Brenda says. Oh, I'm just missing it. I'm just not making the connection here.
Moima Scoots.
Yeah. I'm just going to leave that one because I'm not sure what I'm hearing in there. And I'll ask that one if it was just, I can't quite make out if there's a false start in there. Not quite sure what it is, but we'll just leave it for now. I think we get the point anyway. He's basically saying, I can't go looking like this, looking terrible, basically. No eyebrows.
Nigga nihta fi going, you know.
Nihta.
Nigga nihta fi going, you know.
Nihta pi going. Nihta pi going. That's what I'm hearing. Nihta. Nihta is like Wapi going. Wapi going. Nihta wapi going. Let's check over here. If you know the word, just drop it in the chat somewhere. Wapi go in. No, nothing, eh? I'll just leave it the way I hear it here.
Nigga need to be going, you know.
Go in. Something to do with his face? Okay, we'll just keep going. Keep going.
Ai gai nan to no ta, he gai nan to te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just go.
Oh, they will have a good laugh at me.
Nigga need to be going, you know.
What's the word? Not babu. Nitawapi go in. I don't know the word. But I'll leave your actually we'll do this one more like this. No. No. Okay. This tool's hard to use sometimes because it wants very specific long and short vowels, but that's okay. I'll put your notes in there. Nitawapi. Oh, you know what? That go in, I'll be laughed at. Nitao. Yeah. Tiskwa. I see what you're saying now. Tiskwa. No. Nitao. Yeah, I just can't. That's okay. I'll, yeah, let me just this. Nitawa. Go in. Update that. They will have a good laugh at me. Okay, thank you. I'll go hunt for that later. It might not be in there. Okay, next bit.
Ai gai nan to no ta, he gai nan to te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just go.
Gai nanto. Ite.
Ai gai nan to no ta, he gai nan to te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just go.
I sit awa, I think he said.
Ai gai nan to no ta, he gai nan to te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just go.
Oh, that's really fast at the end there. I sit awa.
Itagai si ta wan dance to just go. Itagai si ta wan dance to just go. Itagai si ta wan dance to just go.
Dance it to Tiskwa. Does that make sense? No, there's something in here that's... I wonder if that's one word. I'm just not hearing it right. Let me listen to that one more time.
Ai gai nan to no ta, he gai nan to te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just go.
There's something right in there.
To te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just to te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just go.
Dance, thank you. That's what I... Awa it dance. Nitanis.
To te, ta gai si ta wan dance to just go.
My daughter. Yeah, okay. Thank you. It's one of those things where it's like, when it all blends together like that, it almost sounds, Kapat says his daughter said, don't think too much about it. Don't worry about it, I guess. Egay nanto e tetak. She didn't think too much of it, I guess. She said. Oh, egay nanto e teta. E teta.
Ai nan to no ta, ai nan to te ta ga isi ta on tan sto chiskwa.
Egay nanto e teta. Don't think anything of it. Yeah. Tisqua. Thank you. I thought I heard e teta.
Spinne te matuito te ton peo.
Oh, that was Vance that got it. Thanks, Vance. Ntanis. Sometimes when there's a lot of pressure running the controls, and I'm just laser focused on the sound sometimes.
Spinne te matuito te ton peo gamungo kape. Spinne te matuito te ton peo gamungo kape.
Spinnete.
Spinne te matuito te ton peo gamungo kape.
E matwe ituhtit, I think you said.
Spinne te matuito te ton peo gamungo kape.
Nipeo gumgok, the bedroom. Oh, I see.
Spinne te matuito te ton peo gamungo kape.
She went to the bedroom. Let's just put these two together. We'll grab the next little chunk.
Ton peo gamungo kape. Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap skutis.
She brought a pencil.
Ton peo gamungo kape. Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap skutis.
So we know where this is going. What's that word? Gape? Why are we?
Ton peo gamungo kape. Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap skutis.
Masinahi kanatikus. Masinahi kanatikus. I think it's a long A. Yeah.
Ton peo gamungo kape. Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap skutis.
Tap scoots. Let's grab a little bit more of that.
Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap skutis. Naksit kape takunat.
See it, I think.
Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap. Wai o itko.
Why you we it, I think he's saying. No, that can't be right. Just go. I'll come back to that.
Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap skutis. Naksit kape takunat.
Be dakonat. Carrying them. Dakonak. I think that's right. Let me listen to the whole thing now and see if I got it. Yeah.
Spinne te matuito te ton peo gamungo kape. Wai o itko mas na ikana chiksa tap skutis. Naksit kape takunat.
The Dabskoots a Sinago see it. That's about the pencils though, right? It looks like that part's about the pencils. Oh, let that save and reload the page here. That issue comes up because when we put media files in our storage, in our cloud storage, in order to lock things down, they have temporary credentials that we use to access them, and they're only good for an hour, and only good for you for an hour. You couldn't reuse them anywhere, but they have to be refreshed. And so we're working towards having that happen seamlessly right now, but for the time being, you get a warning. That's just part of our data security stance. So I think that makes sense. Is masanai kanatsagos. Is that animate? Is that a Nawa thing? Masanai kanatsagos. It is too. It looked like she was carrying pencils back with her, I guess he's saying. All right, let's grab the next chunk here.
Uta staks tigon sigun to me tapas naha kumu. Uta staks tigon sigun to me tapas naha kumu. Uta staks tigon
Uta statisqua, is that what she said? Uta statisqua. I think that's what he said.
Uta staks tigon sigun to me tapas naha kumu.
Let me get that. Ita ta. She started. Ita ta.
Sigun to me tapas naha kumu.
Ta pasinaha. Ta pasinahak. I think something like that.
Sigun to me tapas naha kumu.
Eyebrows. What's that last word?
Sigun to me tapas naha kumu. Sigun to me tapas naha kumu.
Ta pasinaha. So that asina comes from masinaha, to write something, but then ta would like to like when you poke at something. Let's see if we can find it. Ta pasina. Let's do it this way. As pasina. Can we find it this way? Ta pasinaigil. Ta pasinahikan. Ta pasina. Yeah, it might not be. That's okay. And I think that's actually a reduplication anyway. Ta pasina. Ta pasina. There it is. Ta pasinaha. Ta pasinaha. That should work. Ta pasinaha. Ta pasinaham. Okay, we'll flag it. That's all right. And that is specifically to draw something specific. Depicted his eyebrows in art. Brenda says paint. Kistaguan uta. Put your head. Oh, I see. Kistaguan uta sta. Let me listen. Okay, let me listen to the whole thing. Oh, kistaguan. Uta sta kistaguan. Thank you. Put your head here. Too funny. Yeah. Bonnie asks, she drew eyebrows and he left like that? Well, we don't know if he left yet or not. He burnt off his eyebrows, exploding his sweat lodge, and now his daughter's drawn him back on. Let's keep going.
Oh.
Oh. We could skip all the laughing.
Aha. Muimsaatskaks skeisiga teomeega heitin kein kundeist.
Moi Missawats. It's one of those ones I can never remember. Missawats. It's like certainly. At any rate. Moi Missawats.
Aha. Muimsaatskaks skeisiga teomeega heitin kein kundeist.
Giske tigateo ga giske itigateo. Giske tigateo. I think you know what he means. Not gonna be maybe like giske tigateo. Because like giske, that would be to know something, right? Giske tigeo, know something. Giske tigateo. Kind of sounds like nobody's gonna know. I don't really totally know the word.
Aha. Muimsaatskaks skeisiga teomeega heitin kein kundeist.
Itingian. Which is like to get something, I guess. Yeah, they won't know. People won't know, I guess. Moiga giski tigat. Moiga giski tigateo maigwa. Itingian.
Aha. Muimsaatskaks skeisiga teomeega heitin kein kundeist.
Let's grab the next little chunk. Grab that bit there, I guess.
Astuden skamanim dun sa vasis.
Did you say miskaman or put it on?
Astuden skamanim dun sa vasis. Astuden skamanim dun sa vasis.
Oh, put a giskaman.
Astuden skamanim dun sa vasis.
Giskaman, if you put a hat on.
Astuden skamanim dun sa vasis. Tamani muigan stonauksen mo yagdan doga itegeiset.
Yeah. Giskaman, if you put it on, if you wear a hat, yeah. Sometimes when it's like coming from a learner perspective, sometimes when the words flow together so quickly, it can sound like other things, or we get so used to like implying like a good example that a synagosiate, we don't always hear that a, and I don't know if that's on purpose or not. For when we study like some of the academic stuff I'll say, then they imply that there's a difference between those two. If you say a synagosit or just isinagosit, that there's a different meaning for those, but it's hard to tell because then it's also implied that it's not necessarily in common usage all the time. And so it's one of those things where it's like, is there a difference in meaning in there? And you can't always ask a fluent speaker because it's like, that's just the way you say it. Lots of times, right? Which is correct. But trying to get to that place of understanding if there's meaning implied or not in the way that something's said is the challenging part. But the biggest thing being that lots of times something can sound like something else, or it's easy to assume, be like, oh, I thought he said egigskaman, but when I listened more closely, I heard gigskaman. Brenda says, if you wear a hat pulled low. So what are those last words in there? Zapasis. Is that the low part? A little bit lower.
Astun skamanim dun sa basis tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
Isiptaman. Is that a isipita? Pull it down. Interesting. Isipita. Which makes sense perfectly when I think about it. Isipita, isipita, isiptaman. Bonnie says, no one will notice or recognize if he's wearing his hat. Nobody will recognize him or say anything. Yeah. I'm just trying to find all of the words.
Astun skamanim dun sa basis tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
Oh, see, he said isiptaman again.
Astun skamanim dun sa basis tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
Let me just hear that last bit again.
Tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
Ga nisit nagosin. Stonagosin. Let's just see if that's Stonagosi. Sounds like recognized, hey? Stonagosin.
Tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit. Tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
Moyawiak.
Tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
Kai itik. Oh, my brain's working overtime. Kai itik.
Tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
You sit itueo. Just trying to it sounds like he's saying awiak moyawiak nanto gaitik. Sit gaitik. Trying to think of what that. If she was saying it to someone else, it sounds like she's saying nobody's going to say anything to him. I think that's, yeah, Kapat, that's what you said. I'm just trying to think of who she would, but it sounds like she would say that to someone else. If she was saying it to him, then wouldn't she say Namawiak, Moyawiak Nanto Ga? Gaitisk. Tiskwa. I just got to think about that in context for a second. Iteo. Just letting my my brain catch up here. Itisk, that one. Gaitisk. That's what I thought it would be. But I'm going to listen to the whole thing and then not a big deal. We'll just move on.
Astun skamanim dun sa basis tamanim mo ikan stonaksun mo yagdan dogay tegisit.
Nobody's going to say anything to him, it sounds like. If I go back, I'm just going to flag that one word because I don't know if it should be. Yeah, we'll leave it like that for now.
Yukson ma. Ibig pa itagogin tatui chehoan is dito. Yukson ma. Ibig pa itagogin tatui chehoan is dito.
Sipui paitik.
Yukson ma. Ibig pa itagogin tatui chehoan is dito.
Tatui nitatit nitat.
Yukson ma. Ibig pa itagogin tatui chehoan is dito.
Huan. Nista, I think he said. I went with them. I started to go with them. Did I? But I have that right. Weetse. Yeah, Huan. There we go.
Yukson ma. Ibig pa itagogin tatui chehoan is dito.
Sounds like he said, I ate the whale, but we'll just leave it like that. Tata Huan. Started to go with them.
Ni stick den into meto anto.
Nento. It went to bingo also, I guess you'd say.
Waffam the name amaskata man kautta hue anan ya jackpot. Waffam the name amaskata man kautta hue anan ya jackpot. Waffam the name amaskata man kautta hue anan ya jackpot.
See, there's an example right there. See, I'm not hearing the A on the front of that, and I just assume that it's blended in with mittane. Mittane mamskata man.
Waffam the name amaskata man kautta hue anan ya jackpot.
And so it's like, is it actually mittone emam skataman, or is it just mittane emam skataman? Because there's some thinking that would imply that there's a difference in meaning there, but I don't know if that's true or not. He was surprised he won the jackpot, so there's that word again.
Waffam the name amaskata man kautta hue anan ya jackpot.
Oh. Those words that start with O are tricky. Oh, tahoean. I think that's it. Yeah.
Waffam the name amaskata man kautta hue anan ya jackpot.
Ananya jackpot. Is that what he said?
Waffam the name amaskata man kautta hue anan ya jackpot.
That's what I'm hearing. Ananya jackpot ito.
Magamuista sige mamam to ne taman tamaigi te paihu si ano ma.
But I was really made to pay for it or something like that?
Magamuista sige mamam to ne taman tamaigi te paihu.
Ye. Mamam taneta man. Pitama, he said. Excuse me. One of those every once in a while.
Taman ptamaigi te pai hu si anoma.
Te pahi ge te paige he go sian. Something like that.
Mga muista sa igi mamam to ne taman ptamaigi te pai hu si anoma.
Te paige is to pay for something, right? Te paige he. Oh yeah, but to make somebody pay. But that ego se, te paige go te paige go sian. Yeah, made to pay for it. Brenda says paid for in advance for the good fortune. I think there's an atueo at the end there.
Mga muista sa igi mamam to ne taman ptamaigi te pai hu si anoma.
It's made to pay for it. That's a really interesting word. I'll flag that one. I'm not sure what they'll do with it, but it's basically we'll start there. But if we take that word, and it kind of breaks down. It's a perfect example of if you take, so the word is te paige, right, which is sort of to pay for something. But then if you add that, they call this that H in there, sometimes they call that the causative H. So if you say te paige, to pay for something, te paige heu, that one was made to pay for something. I guess you could say it that way. What did it say here? That one, somebody makes somebody else pay. But then if you take that, so you can do some interesting things with that. So there's a boundary there where the inflection changes. And then there's this little piece here, egoisse, which sort of, depending on the context, implies the higher powers are involved, could be the creator or spirits. Egoisse, so in a sense, if you want to think of it this way, made to pay, whoops, how did I end up there? Pressing too many buttons. Made to pay by the higher powers, I guess you could say. Something like that. And then that yan, that means me. This part at the end there. So really interesting that there's quite a bit going on. There's no surprise that the dictionary doesn't pick that one up because it's kind of an advanced word, I would say. Yeah. And it does sound like it's tempting to write it that way. This part here, it's tempting to write it like this. And there's a reason they write it like this, and I think it's probably because in some areas you do hear where this speaker is condensing that bit of speech because there's a lot of short vowels in there. In some regions, they will actually pronounce the whole thing very clearly. Egosian, yeah. All right, moving on.
Kai si pagsay mo ano, si pagkate parama no mga.
Pagosim.
Kai si pagsay mo ano, si pagkate parama no mga.
There's more to that.
Kai si pagsay mo ano, si pagkate parama no mga.
Oh, he said oche. Pretty sure he said oche. Oh, let me refresh. I got that little issue in there every once in a while. Did too many things at once and confused the system. Pretty sure he says oche. Let me grab that next chunk because there's more to this.
Kai si pagsay mo ano, si pagkate parama no mga. Ka pagsay mo yan, kai spike to. Kaisipagpsay mo yan, no? Si pagkate paramanong kapagsay mo yan, kaispike to.
Just that little bit in the middle there I can't quite make out.
Kaisipagpsay mo yan, no? Si pagkate paramanong kapagsay mo yan, kaispike to.
Pogo. I think he said Pogoga.
Kaisipagpsay mo yan, no? Si pagkate paramanong kapagsay mo yan, kaispike to.
I had to, that thing that I had wished for, I guess you'd say I had to pay for it. I think he says.
Kaisipagpsay mo yan, no? Si pagkate paramanong kapagsay mo yan, kaispike to.
Tepahaman, is that a word?
Kaisipagpsay mo yan, no? Si pagkate paramanong kapagsay mo yan, kaispike to.
I don't know that word.
Kaisipagpsay mo yan, no? Si pagkate paramanong kapagsay mo yan, kaispike to.
Boga Tepahaman. Tepahaman. Again, to pay for it, right? Or something? Tepaham. Yeah, paid for it. Pogoga Tepahaman. I think that's it there. Pogoga Tepahaman. I had to pay for it. I think that's the whole thing. I'm going to have one more listen.
Kaisipagpsay mo yan, no? Si pagkate paramanong kapagsay mo yan, kaispike to.
Yeah, that looks good. I think we got it. Okay. Anything in here we need? All right. Next chunk.
Nagivoyatehta muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan magaitaham kaispike to. Nagivoyatehta muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan magaitaham kaispike to. Nagivoyatehta
Wowie te wowie wowie tetak. Is that to think something's funny? Or oh no, wowie tetam. Sounds like it's funny. Wowie wowie. Let me listen to that one more time. Wowie tetak. Sounds like it was funny. Wowie tetak. Let me find that preverb. Wowie su wowie tetak. Here it is. Wowie tetak. It's related to this word here. Wowie tetak. Wowie tetam. There it is. Thought it was funny. Yeah. Wowie. Wowie te. Okay, got it.
Nagivoyatehta muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan magaitaham kaispike to.
That's
muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan magaitaham muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan.
There's a little something in between maga and the next word.
Muista sanamagam neksvihuya. Muista sanamagam neksvihuya isvihan.
Egg speak. There's something in the middle there, though.
Muistas na magam na yung svihuya isvihan magaitaham gakay spike to.
We spike, it sounds like. Mana. Well, that's a long I.
Muistas na magam na yung svihuya isvihan magaitaham gakay spike to. Muistas na magam na yung svihuya isvihan magaitaham gakay spike to.
Itakamikag, which is just to like happen or something, isn't it? As an event, yeah. Itakamgag. There's a little bit more at the end there.
Muistas na magam na yung svihuya isvihan magaitaham gakay spike to.
Again, here we don't hear the A, it just says I spike. What's right at the end there? Hello, kitty.
Muistas na magam na yung svihuya isvihan magaitaham gakay spike to.
Ito. Yeah, I don't have this part in here that we speak or something. That's not quite right. I'm going to just listen through one more time and slow it down a tiny bit and see if I can get it here.
It sounds
like we speak. We speak. Oh, we speak. We speak. Thank you, Brenda. We speak kanma ita kamkag. Okay, guy spike to. Gata kamgag. It's interesting because there's a K at the end of that word, I couldn't hear it here, and I totally missed it the first time. One more. I'm just gonna listen to that one more time just to make sure. I always say one more time, and then I listen to it like 4 more times. Guy spike to. There's still something after maga, like right in here. There's like a little something in there, and I can't quite make out what it is. Is it Namoya? Magan moik speak? Magan moik speak. It almost sounds like. I can't quite make it out. I'm just going to flag that just to run that spot by Wes later on. It sounds like there's something in there. And then just based on the context. So he thought it was really funny, and then later, Muestasa namageg speak wia speak anma. Yeah, there's more to this. Let's listen to the next bit. Nipagwatin. I really hate how I look, it sounds like. Later on, after it happened, he thought, oh, I really... Nipagwatin. Yeah. Oh, no. H, that's why. Yeah. Angela says... I want you to do your content onto Facebook. May you will become more able to access supports many Cree speakers on Facebook. We are streaming on Facebook right now. We've got some Angela, I'm streaming from my Facebook page, Keanu, but also I always share it out from my profile too. So right now we're streaming on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. And in theory, I could stream from a couple more locations if I wanted to. Just based on my setup, I think I could probably hit three more slots from my. You have two OBSs running right now. This one's full, but this one could stream to more locations. But Facebook definitely seems to be where folks are at. Yeah, if you want to join on Facebook or the Discord even, I think the stream on there is pretty good. I'm slowly inching away from TikTok since TikTok punishes you unless you're doing video games. So I would do, not that, small groups is fine. Like there's, let's see, there's 3 there and 3, there's 7 of us here tonight, which is great. Small groups are awesome. And the recordings from these lives end up on my Facebook. So, or sorry, not my Facebook, my YouTube. So you can go watch the replay. I stream to YouTube so that I don't have to, I used to download the recordings and then upload them, but now I just stream right to YouTube. But I would have, I would have nights where there were 60 to 100 people in a live stream on TikTok, and now it's usually 3 to 6, which is fine. Small group is great. It's way less comments to keep up with. If you look for, this is my page right here. Tisco, I'll open it up. You could find me at Keanu on Facebook. This is my page right here. And I go live on here twice a week. So if you follow that page there. Or you can send me a request, Aaron James Fay on Facebook too. You can follow me on that way too. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Back to the story. We got about 20 minutes here, so we'll keep going. We're at 14 minutes. We're going to finish this one tonight. Pretty sure. Oh no, we're at the end. 14 and a half minutes. We got one more chunk. Yeah. All right, last chunk. I looked thoroughly funny, I guess you would say. Wow, yes. Meistih kasaman, I burnt them off. What was that last word? Meistagasa. 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 Oh yeah, and then there's an itweo at the end for Bill. How's the stream on Discord there, Bill? Is it coming through fine? I think that's the end of our story. Yeah, that's it. We don't need that one at the end. So that's it. We wrapped up our second story. Wow. That's fantastic. Wrapped our second story up. 14 minutes. So that that concludes 2 stories. By the way, we'll be launching a feature for the Keanu platform. We've got a couple of things coming out. We just recently launched the database feature. We haven't made a big fuss about this yet. I'm going to do that right away. We're just fixing a couple things, but for instance, if you go in there right now, you can browse any of the... actually, I'll just go make sure that one's turned on, because I don't know if I've done that yet. I'll turn it on so that this one gets... Oh yeah, so this should be indexed properly. So all of those words, if you notice when we're going through these transcriptions, and one of the reasons I spend so much time finding every one of the words in there and trying to make them turn blue, we have a spell checker working in the background. It's a bunch of fancy words for it, but it doesn't really matter. But if they turn blue, what happens is those words each end up in our database. So you can go in there and page through here, for instance. Let me see if I can find... I'm going to make this searchable because that would be kind of cool, but you can see the frequencies. So, mamtanetam, we just ran into that word there. And I'll click in there, and then you can see here that it shows how many times we run into each of them. So, egi mamamtanetaman. Because there's all these different ways that you can say a word. And so what happens is you can go through and click on one of those. So I'll pick on this one, gamamtanetami, which we've run into twice. And then down below, we can see both spots and actually go look at those transcriptions. If I click through to that, it'll actually pull that open so I can go listen to that spot in that transcription. Right, and this is fairly useful for learners if you're looking for a word or something. You can also search in here if you're looking for something. And go, let me see, should be able to search for both of those. It'll go, see, so I can go in and listen to how something is used in place, if that's helpful. Angela said, sorry, I checked on Facebook and need a proper spelling. I added an African band. Hold on. I'll drop it in the chat here. Maybe add those other locations in your title of your live. One sec, Angela. I'll send it in the chat. Oh, I just realized. I wonder if I can send the link. Keanu. If you search, maybe if you go Keanu apps. Wonder if that'll work. Yeah, or you can search for me. I just put my Facebook in the page there, in the chat there too. So, yeah, so I was just talking about I spend a lot of time when we have the spell checker turned on, hunting down each of these words. Gagi mai itatsamos stagoyak, right? So we can go back and find this word if we're chasing a word or we're chasing a form of like how you say something. We can go back in and listen to it used in context in multiple places, which can be really helpful. Oh, you know what, Angela? If you go to my link tree, it's in there too, actually. Click on link in bio on TikTok. Since you're on TikTok, if you go to my bio and then the link at the very bottom of my link tree, that's my Facebook page right there. You can find a bunch of my stuff there if that's helpful. Yeah. So, if you're just tuning in, we just finished the second story from West Fine Day. Oh, that's the reason I was talking about that. These are going to be published soon also, so we'll do another pass on these. We have 28 issues that we need to reconcile. I'll sit down with Wes. I'm going to be visiting him soon, and we'll get some of these sorted out. And then we have a new feature coming soon. We're going to be launching, I don't know what it's called yet. Arden calls it a, what does Arden call it? A listening library or something like that? I forget. Anyway, I'm calling it theater mode. And basically what you'll be able to do is pull up the video, sort of like YouTube in the top, but then also be able to read along. Sort of like, but eventually we'll have the translation in there as well, so you'll be able to read along with both the English and the Nihiwe one. So that'll be coming soon. But in the meantime, you can find these if you browse through the database and you're poking through there. That can get you back to these various transcriptions as well. We will have a listing of published transcriptions coming soon. So then you can find that we finished How Sweetgrass Became Chief. Now we've finished The Flying Sweat Lodge. So the next question is, I'm working on Coming Day Flies Out of a Car with another group on Mondays. That one we're not streaming, but we have a handful of stories here. So the question is, which one should we do next? We just finished this one here, The Flying Sweat Lodge. I wonder if we should do Titi Kwayu. That's another funny story. Geets Atsamo, and I think I started on that one on my own. This one I'm working on another group. Ispiteta Koswin, which is more like teachings. And then the same with this one, Atsimo and Payak. There's actually several stories in that one, so there's quite a few different ones here we could work on. I'm thinking we should maybe go back and do this one. 27 minutes long, so that'll take a few weeks to get through. And then what that'll do is, I'll just pull the URL here. Oh. Need to keep an eye on TikTok because it won't warn me when it's going to kick me out. I think we'll do this one. I think we'll start working through these kind of in order, if that makes sense. This was the very first recording I did with Wes on the very first. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday night when I got there. And we were technically supposed to start the next day, but I was like, that's a good day. Nimosu, what do you think? Should we tell some stories? He's like, sure. So then he told a handful of stories in this one. So I think, let me just see if I can download this one quick. I usually use just find like a random downloader program. We're also in the process of getting these in, what'd you call it? Podcast format. So we're just waiting on some round dance music that we've asked permission to use, and then we'll be publishing these as audio only onto all of the podcast platforms. So if that works better for folks, then you could just kind of queue it up and listen to it. I know YouTube is not the best podcast format, or save on bandwidth at least. So let's upload this one. I just got it now. Say Wes, find a Tsimoin Payak. And I'll pick my file here. Downloads. Oh, why won't it let me pick that file? Just go. Let's see if we can fight through it and get it downloaded here. Tsimo and Payak. Hello, kitty. Can I drop that on there? There we go. Get that uploaded. Yeah, we got 10 more minutes here, so we can let this upload and then get started on it anyway. We've got one more session coming up, so as I get time, I've uploaded a few of these so far, but I've got a couple of dozen more stories to upload. We've got one more recording session coming up with Wes. This Chichiguayu, I think, was one of the last stories, I think, from our very first session. So this is only the very first session that has, I think there's probably a couple of more, at least one or two more stories that I have to upload from our first session. And then I'll start on our second visit. So we're going through we've got 2 weeks of visits. I haven't even started on processing those videos yet. And then our fourth visit we have coming up in January. So we'll get some winter teachings and some winter stories. So if you're not tuned in or subscribed to this channel yet, the Sweetgrass stories, definitely jump over there and subscribe to that if you want to catch those. Okay, where are we at here? All right. Tsimuan Peyak, brand new story. And this was the very first story that I recorded with Wes. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. Now let's go in. I can see right away that the spell checker's not on, so I'll go adjust that right now. Turn that on for. And by the way, we just launched additional spell checkers for Anishinaabe, the Ojibwe, or I think the southern Ojibwe dialect, as well as Odawa, Anishinaabe and Odawa in 2 different flavors, Corbière and Rhodes, and I think those are different spelling styles. And we have a few more. We have TH dialect coming soon, and we have Blackfoot coming soon, and hopefully a couple others. So we'll turn that on for Nehiyuwin, and we'll make this discoverable and save our changes. Ma mitto nehtami.
Minä pitämään mamto nehtämme tanssimaagi spihtehtaaguak.
Is it A or Ga?
Minä pitämään mamto nehtämme tanssimaagi spihtehtaaguak.
Ispitehtaaguak. Something like that. Ispitehtaaguak. Ispitehtaaguan. He uses this word a lot, so let's go find it and see. Ispitehta, it's short A. See, they even marked that in the dictionary, initial change, but what does that mean? And how does that change the meaning if that was the case? So if we said like this, short A, and that's a long I, that's why that's not showing up. Yeah, so they say that is different than this. But my question is, how are they different? What's the difference? I'll have to go back and look. But if I listen again. Yeah, and I don't know. I can't quite hear if it's different or not. Let's just grab that whole chunk. This is cool because this is going back to the very first thing I recorded with him, and I haven't actually listened to this again yet.
Mamahtawa chimuin, puhchimton misiki sha chimuin, you know.
Mamahtao. Puchi. Kitse something. I'll look that up in a minute. Let's just grab that last word.
Mamahtawa chimuin. Puh chimton misikihsha chimuin. You know.
Misigite Zimun. Misigita Zimun. And in the language, I think I know what all of those mean. Mamahtao, like sacred maybe, or wondrous. Wawita Zimun, funny stories. Kunta Zimun, how would you describe that? Kunta Zimun, like, is it just a story? I wonder if you can use that as a, you can, yeah. Kunta Zimun. Is it merely a story? Brenda says, think about how this topic is valued. Yeah. Does it have a spiritual aspect? All right, let me put it all together and just make sure I didn't miss anything. Mama Tao. Mama Tao. Did I miss a long A? No. Mama Tao at Simuan. Misigita at Simuan. Okay.
Kunta chimuin chi. Puh chi wawiata chimuin. Puh chi mamahtawa chimuin. Puh chimton misikihsha chimuin. You know.
Oh yeah, we don't want to forget
Kunta chimuin.
the you know at the end there.
Pitama. Kawawiistamik. Tapskutu magapm tatasihtamana nocht kayas. Pitama. Kawawiistamik.
Wawiistami. Wawiistam. What does that mean? I don't think that's it.
Pitama. Kawawiistamik.
Wawiistami. Sounds like getting ready for something. Wawiistami. Yeah, see, TikTok is like, your live sucks. We're not promoting you. Like, whatever. Wawiistami. Wawiistami. Sounds like to prepare. Jisqua. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Waweistam. There it is right there. Waweistam. Waweistami. Waweistam. Waweistam. Sorry, long I. There we go. That's interesting. I didn't know they added these that mih form into the, because if we go in here to the VTIs, oh, that one doesn't have anything. Let's go to this one here. No, that doesn't have anything either. What they're having? Let's just go itam. That X actor form, they don't, that passive form, they don't have it in there, but it's interesting the spell checker's picking it up. So that's interesting. Brenda says, does it have a spiritual aspect or a sacred story you need to prepare for?
Pitama. Kawawiistamik. Tapskutu magapm tatasihtamana nocht kayas. Pitama. Kawawiistamik. Tapskutu magapm tatasihtamana nocht kayas.
Tapskuts uma ka ta Sitaman, this one that I'm discussing here today. Notes.
Pitama kawoistami. Tapskutu magapm tatasihtamana nocht kayas.
Gaias. I think I got it all.
Pitama kawoistami. Tapskutu magapm tatasihtamana nocht kayas. Nemosum padman gagiato tak. Atsemu nohu he haisinoa. Nemosum padman gagiato tak. Atsemu nohu he haisinoa.
Ato tak.
Nemosum padman gagiato tak. Atsemu nohu he haisinoa.
Aisinua.
Kagi be mache saapuhtei tuutahoma. Asniwa chihkuhti.
Kagipe mate.
Kagi be mache saapuhtei tuutahoma. Asniwa chihkuhti.
Sahputeet. That's what I heard.
Kagi be mache saapuhtei tuutahoma. Asniwa chihkuhti.
Aseniu. How do they spell it? Aseniwatsi. Aseniwatsik. Aseniwatsik. Aseniwatsi. Come on, it's got to be there. Rocky Mountains. Aseniwatsi. Okay. What's no, they don't show it on there. Aseniu. Oh. Interesting. I didn't know that's what they call Rocky Boy too.
Kagi be mache saapuhtei tuutahoma. Asniwa chihkuhti.
Aseniwa. Come on. Ote, he said at the end, right?
Kagi be mache saapuhtei tuutahoma. Asniwa chihkuhti.
Oh, they want a long I there. That's weird. I have questions. Because it's an IY, they write it with a long I so that they make sure. But then I'm like, why don't they write it with a... Because the locative doesn't usually have, like if it's just something, Sagaigani, right? It's short I, IHK, Sagaigani. But here they write it with a long I because that IY sound. And I'm like, why didn't they write this with a long I also? That's strange. But they put the long I there to preserve the E sound that the IY makes? I don't know. That's okay. Keep going.
Kagi pe tagache hoitu tahtan tehegi pe o tohteitoma. E kohtaan suuta hegi mistä kohteit.
He speaks very clearly, but also very quickly sometimes.
Kagi pe tagache hoitu tahtan tehegi pe o tohteitoma.
Tago tahats wheat or something.
Kagi pe tagache hoitu tahtan te. Kagi pe tagache hoitu tahtan. Kagi pe tagache hoitu.
Tago ache hoyit. Tago ache hoyit. Just quoi. See what we can find that starts with Tago. Huh. I don't know the word. I mean, tago is to arrive.
Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi pe o tō te ito ma.
It almost sounds like a cross between tago teo and pimatseho, right? Tago, huh. Can you just use that as a preverb? You can. Oh, in addition to, on arriving. But I would expect itatseho, if that was right. Itatseho. Tago atsehoye. Tago. I might have to mark.
Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi pe o tō te ito ma.
I'll just flag it.
Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi pe o tō te ito ma. Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi pe o tō te ito ma.
E gi pe. I think that's what I'm here. Tō te etoma. Tanti gi pe wau tō te etoma.
Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi pe o tō te ito ma.
Oh, tō te, it doesn't like the wa. Yeah. But that's clearly the way he says it. And this one I'll just flag because I don't know what that means. I thought it was itatsehoit, but tago is in there for sure.
Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi pe o. Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi. Ka gi pe tago a te hoi tō tahtan te he gi.
Tago atsehoit. Tago atsehoit. Yeah, that where he came from. I kind of get what it means. I'll just flag it. Tago atsehoit. Where'd you travel from? O tatante pe wau tote etoma. Yeah, I'll just flag that one. Another aspect, and maybe this is less charming for fluent speakers, but it's a part of my process. Hearing it again and again and again is also, even though it seems like a lot sometimes, but the repetition is actually good for learning as well. So I apologize if I listen to it 17 times. It's just part of the process.
E kohtaan suuta he gi mistä kohteit. E kohtaan suuta he gi mistä kohteit. E kohtaan suuta he gi mistä kohteit.
Egi pim isetta kohteit. I think he said.
E kohtaan suuta he gi mistä kohteit.
Yeah. He's using the that other person form, that ovitive form a lot, and I'm like, is he talking about the stories? Let me just scroll back a bit. Pitamaka wawi stamik tapskutsu magapm tatasita man nanutskayas. Nemusumpan managagiato ato tak atsimuna uhe o aisinua. Gagi pe mat sapohteet. Sapohteo. Like to go through, traveled through here. Otaoma siniwatsikotse from the Rocky Mountains. Gagi pe tagoatse hoyet. Otatante egi pe wau tote etoma. Ego tanso megi isitagoteet. Okay, I think I'm following now. Yeah. Yeah, hearing those, like, I'm at that place where if a fluent speaker just says something, then I won't necessarily, like, I can catch the meaning. Like, even when Wes told these stories, even though I was not prepared to be there alone listening to the storytelling, I did I did surprisingly well in following most of what he was saying. There was some stuff he'd get into the more higher level, I'll say, like philosophical stuff, and there are lots of words in there I didn't know. If he was telling a story about something that was happening to someone, especially, obviously, if he told the story in bits and pieces before in English, and I could follow along and it was like, oh, try and remember some of those words for later. But yeah, still very often when a fluent speaker speaks, I will not catch everything. So to go through it again and again and again is really, really helpful, even though it seems challenging, and it's a real difference between, I'll say, like the Western way of doing things, where you heard something and you might think, oh, I've heard that already. Oh, I heard that story before, right? That Western way doesn't value that repetition or whatever, but from a language learning perspective, hearing something over and over and over again, it's not only invaluable from a language learning perspective, but also that mimics the way things would have been done traditionally, right? If you would have grown up hearing these stories over and over, especially if they were told at certain times or something, you would hear them over and over and over again. And so I've come to realize and understand that's really the best way. That's the best way for me now. And when I hear them again and again, I really appreciate hearing them again because it gives me an opportunity to hear some of those words again. Or like, it's like if you have a favorite movie or something that you watch again and again, and you get, like even right now, we're doing this thing where we used to do this thing where we would, when Lord of the Rings came out years and years ago, it's 24 years ago, by the way. And then we would every year, so the second one came out and we watched the first one and then went into the second one. And then every year for years, we would watch them right around New Year's. We would do like a marathon. We just started doing that again with our kids this year, but like we started at last week because it's going to take us a week to get through them all. But even now, even though I can just about recite those movies, I still pick pieces out of them. It's like, oh, I didn't notice that before. Oh, I didn't notice that camera angle before. Oh, I didn't notice this or that. And these stories are like that too, I think. Even when I go back and listen to the ones that we finished, or some of the ones we haven't finished, I'll listen to them again and I like to pick out little pieces, pick out another little piece each time. Oh, yeah, that word. Oh, that's what he meant there, right? That repetition is invaluable. So let's finish this one box and then we're going to wrap it up there tonight.
Ego. Kigwai hegipum orteigotik. Kigwai hegipum sasitos kagutik.
It's that first word.
Ego. Kigwai hegipum orteigotik. Kigwai hegipum sasitos kagutik.
Egi sasitos kagutik. That's actually Shortositos. How are they supported, I guess? What's that first word?
Ego. Kigwai hegipum orteigotik. Kigwai. Ego. Kigwai hegipum orteigotik. Ego. Kigwai hegipum orteigotik.
Wauhtegutsik. Higuaigipum wauhtegutsik. I know it starts with an O because he said wow. -o. How were they kept busy? No.
Ego. Kigwai hegipum orteigotik.
Oh, Brenda says, what protection did they carry? Do you know the word? Yeah, it sounds like something Bimota Hego Chick or something. Do you know the Cree word? Wow, Tegochik. Wow, Tegochik. Sherry says, what software are you using? This is my project called Keanu Transcribe. We have 3... Bimotego Tisqua.
Ego. Kigwai hegi mohtaihochik.
Bimotehegotzik is, I think, what it is. Bimotehegotzik. But wouldn't it be Bimota? Bimotaheo?
Ego. Kigwai hegi mohtaihochik.
Yeah, Bimotahegotzik. That's what it is. Thank you. Brenda to the rescue again. We'd still be back in that other story if Brenda wasn't here, honestly. So this project is called Keanu Transcribe. So you could find my site at keanu.net. This is a software that's designed. We have 3 projects that we're launching. This one we launched in... When did we launch? September? Yeah, Keanu Transcribe we launched in September. And the first of which, this is an online collaborative transcription platform. Yeah, Brenda Sweetgrass on the dash. Yeah. Keanu Transcribe is a collaborative online transcription software designed for indigenous languages. So we have support right now for... You could transcribe anything in here you want right now. You can just upload your audio or video file. We will spit out this little waveform. You can just draw your regions on the waveform and it'll pop a new little box in the corner and you could type in what you hear. And if you want, you can type in a translation as well. So by default, it's private. It's just yours. But if you want to, especially if you turn on the spell checker, you have the option to make it discoverable. It's not public, but it is accessible. When we spell check a word, meaning when they turn blue like this, they will get logged into the database if discoverability is turned on, and then people can go in the database and find words, basically. So, for instance, if I look at Ito Teo, we can look see that Ito Teo's been run into 67 times. And, oh, sorry, I picked the wrong one. Ito Teo. And then you can go through and see the different places. So, Gatotean. If you click on that, then we'll load the places where we run into that in transcription. And this is all based just because of the spell checker. And then you can go back and listen to that used in context. And so this is helpful as for learners if we're trying to chase down a word or chase down a form or something. So we can listen to that. Right? Different speakers, we can hear different speakers use different words. So right now we have support for... we just launched support. We launched with support for Nehiwe and Plains Cree dialect. We just added support for spell checker for Southern Ojibwe, I think it's Anishinaabemowin, as well as Odawa, which is another dialect of Anishinaabemowin. There are 2 different spelling styles there, the Corbier and the Rhodes. We have Blackfoot coming soon, as well as TH dialect as well, hopefully in the new year. And we hope to add support for... If there's spell checkers or FSTs for a language, then we'll just add it. Cherry says, come to my school. Be more than happy to. Where are you located? I will be coming to Saskatchewan in a couple of weeks, and then I'll be in Edmonton for a few weeks after that. So that's the first project. We have 2 more projects. Also, the database I just showed you, I need to update that screenshot. The Keanu app I'm working on right now, we're just going into private beta for this in the next couple of weeks. This is a question and answer app so learners can search for phrases. This is a daily phrase learning app. But the goal of this is, the goal of this app, again, we're not building apps specific for Cree. They're for any Indigenous language. The goal behind this app is that you can put a bunch of phrases and audio in there quickly, but rather than having an app that you need a software development team to develop, you can keep adding stuff to it. So learners can keep asking questions. How would I say this? And mentors can keep contributing audio for any language, for any dialect, for any community. And so as a mentor, say I'm from Saddle Lake, I could go in there and see all of the phrases or answers in the system that don't have audio for my particular community, and I could contribute that for my community specifically, and then learners from my community specifically could find things from my community, and if they can't, they can reach out in the broader dialect, but we can build in representation for any dialect or community. Learner Library, and then we have Bloomfield Online. So these are the three main projects: the transcription project, the database project, Keanu app. We have a theater mode coming up soon. There's a lot of stuff that we want to do. There's way more stuff, but this is the main tools that are designed for intermediate language learners. And again, we're not building just for any target language. We're building a platform so that we can accommodate any Indigenous language. And I would be more than happy to come to your school. I don't know why. And we're obviously in beta, so when for some reason, the spell checker stopped working. I have to figure out Yeah. That's why we're in beta, because we're still fixing a few of the issues. So anyway, we're going to just go for a couple more minutes. If you're still tuned in, let me know where you're tuning in from. Cherry says Southern Ontario, south of Toronto. If you're on TikTok, Cherry, just send me a message on TikTok and we can chat. Not sure. I don't have any plans to be in Toronto soon, but that's not to say that we couldn't arrange something. So yeah, send me a message. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up there tonight. Send me a message and let me know where you're tuned in from. And yeah, Zoom will work too. That sounds great. Got Sheriff tuned in from Gasastegi Oskana from Regina. Kapot's from North Central Alberta. North Central Alberta, that's a big place. Anywhere specific? You don't have to be specific, it's fine. Yeah. Hope that was useful. Everybody who chimed in tonight, Grurard. You were specific, and I'm like, now I don't even know where that is. That's cool, though. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody who popped in tonight, mitini man ni me wait man. Kapi ay giugu kiuau. Mitini kita tami hina wow. Kanaskum tina wow tapwe. Ay mi asin. Tapwe mi asin uma kapi gisita ya kan may piaka tsimuin. The Flying Sweat Lodge wawi tatsimuinis. Mitini ni mi wait na yoguan ma. Brenda says, Puasimunak. I think you told me where that was before, but Maganoan Giskisin. There's only so much memory tape. My memory tape is kind of short. Yeah. Maga say me na no te atam skatagok. Anut saya. Ego taga gisita no. O samit na no tegetean. Ego na paswatin kigo yaps ispamik. Ipim no so tike teta man. Ipim no so tike isa. Ni paswatin kigo ka how would you say that? Something that smells good. Gamio mago sick. Gamio mago sick, I think you'd say. I smell something good. It must be food. Yeah. Yeah. Boasimunak, Nakota speaking community. Ahaw. Miasin. Boasimunak. Yeah. Miasin. Okay. Yep, we're gonna leave it there. Kagisita no egwa. Asay mi na kakukitam skat na wow. Egwa ya inanaskum tagok kape tagosini kape gyo kape witat watoskatam yek. Atoskat. I always forget that one. Atatoskatemiek. I can't do that one. I'll have to work on it. Thanks again, everyone, for stopping in tonight. I'll see you on Wednesday for some Cree study. Okay, and we'll leave it at that tonight. Ay mio tips guns